Lots of people ask me about deliberate coaching and what is the difference in this. I believe I've clearly identified some weaknesses in coaching and approach after 4 decades of this. And this is a class that is different. It is not curriculum driven. There's nothing wrong with that, but people teach a certain curriculum or a way to do things, and they create a system around that. And if you can run the line and you can do the coaching, it can help you tremendously because it creates structure. But there's a big if inside of that, because coaching is much more than just having a good curriculum. What I'd like you to think about is you have 3 aspects to be a good coach or a good instructor. Number 1 is you have to know your client. How can you clearly communicate with them? How can you make quick diagnostics that help them improve? All right. How can you collect data that's pertinent to them? And how can you understand what holds them back, what allows them to succeed and perform at a higher level? The other thing you have to understand is yourself. What is the coach asking of the clients? How does he run the line or she run the line? How do you approach people in a meaningful manner? All right. How do you understand how not only do techniques work, but psychological decisions and physiological actions? How can we manage those things? And the final thing is how to develop a class that gets the most out of your clients. It's not the curriculum. I do call this part the curriculum of the class, but it's a curriculum of understanding the idea of flow science, neuroscience, and what your client needs from you. How can you use a group to create better shooters quicker? I think there's a real hole in the idea of shooting and training because we're still in the phase that we went through in martial arts where we had preferences, all right? We weren't teaching principles. We weren't using modern coaching methodology. We weren't collecting data, doing diagnostics, and looking for the highest level performer. We find somebody who's fairly good at it and we try to emulate them, which is not a bad idea of modeling, but there will be differences in perception, physiological response, and psychological motivation and decisions and sensations. We've all taught and not been able to improve the person. And then we can defer the progress to a future date and say they just need more practice. But nothing could be further from the truth. Once you understand these principles, you can start making corrections in real time. And the person can feel it. They will communicate. They'll ultimately become responsible for their own progress, which allows them to be truly a self-supporting, or what we like to call autotelic behavior. It is rewarding to practice, therefore we're likely to get better shooters. Right? I don't have all the answers, but I have some of the answers and I have a lot of experience with it, and I get good results very soon. If you're certified by somebody else or another organization, this won't interfere with it, but it will give you some ways to approach things differently, and it will make you feel like that you have a real fighting chance to do the one thing I know that matters most to you, and that's to see your clients succeed. Because ultimately, we're trying to alleviate suffering during the training cycle so that people can get better and understand it. Trust me, they're going to suffer anyway, and most of it's self-imposed. So let's help them shortcut through the distances and really find the ways to do these things effectively. All right, I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. I look forward to seeing you in the deliberate coaching class. And as always, measure, refine, and perform.